Hi everyone, Logician here with something that's got a bit of a niche use, but it's pretty cool anyways, and I haven't seen it before, so I'm pretty stoked about it. This is an automatic ice generator. Now, ice is a pain in the ass because it doesn't generate consistently. It's not like cobblestone. You know, you have to wait for it to freeze and all that, so you can't really have it on a clock. Well, I guess you could, but it wouldn't be as efficient because it'd either wait a long time before firing, or it would fire before the ice was frozen and it'd break the water block trying to freeze. Oh, that was awesome. Uh, it'll break the water block trying to freeze and reset the whole thing. So I opted for uh, making a design based off of a block update detector or a bud switch. And the cool thing about these is it'll fire exactly when the ice freezes, so there's no wasted time, and it's ready to go again in the blink of an eye. Um, so if you don't know what a block update detector is, it basically works on the fact that a piston will accept power from far outside what you would expect. It will accept power from the upper two corners. They got to be above for some reason, and also a block powered like this with one airspace. And the thing is, they power the piston, but the piston will not fire until it is updated. And so that works the basis of many bud switches. You'll see them in adventure maps when a player destroys a block or move something, or they might be a timer like an ice freeze, because that'd be a pretty damn good random timer, I think, because you can't predict it. Oh, kitty, I'm recording. So you can't do this because the corner thing here, I guess, would work, but it didn't seem to work out in my mind too well, and you can't have a power above it because then it would cover up the ice block and that wouldn't be fun. So, jeez, kitty. Hey. So, there's different types of bud switches. There's redstone only bud switch, like this one that uses glowstone, and it's based on this feedback loop here. The issue is here that it only accepts updates on these three sides, which would mean exposing running water to redstone. And we all know that's not a good idea. That, and there's actually no space for it in this design because you got a piston here on this side to eject the block. You have water source blocks here to create an infinite water source, and then having it above it doesn't seem to work very well in my head. So I opted for a piston-based bud switch like this. Now, I didn't use this exact design because it still exposes some redstone and it makes things kind of complicated. But this is what's called a stuck piston bud switch. Basically, these pistons are just fighting each other, and they only duke it out when the piston is updated. So that's really useful, and it fires a longer pulse than this redstone bud switch here. Also, something interesting I found is placing redstone wire adjacent to a natural snow block like this will turn the grass it's placed on top of to a snow grass. So that's really interesting, although it doesn't change the side texture. That might be because I'm using better grass. Anyways, so there's a chief difference between that bud switch and this bud switch, and mainly because it complicates things to have it turned on its side, essentially. And the big issue here is the fact that if I just had it normally turned on its side and just rotated the circuitry, this piston, just like this, would be powered by this block, which does the whole bud sensing. It actually gets powered by the block it's pushing. It's crazy. So that wouldn't work. And also sometimes it'll accept power from these side ones. So, I tried putting a repeater there, and it's the block itself it causes a problem. So I put two blocks there, and it works just perfectly because it's still instantaneous. There's no issues with the travel time of the extra block, so there's nothing to worry about. And here is the bare bud switch. It's really easy to build. You just have a static power going into the block there, and then you set redstone like that, and then you have a torch going down to that piston, and then you have it wrapping around up to this piston here. Now you may be wondering why this one looks a lot more complicated. Well, the big issue is that you have 3 separate updates. You have one when the block freezes, when the ice block freezes. You have one when this piston here fires. And you also have one more when the new source block forms. So you're getting 3 updates in one action, and that actually turns out to be quite disastrous because this piston will basically just generate a clock because they're constantly updating each other. So basically all I had to do was to add... How'd you... Oh, there's a cave over there. All I had to do was add a couple repeaters here. And what this does, is it actually locks out the bud switch for a short period of time until this piston finishes its business and the source blocks regenerate. And that turns out to be the perfect timing. It's just a repeater set to 0 ticks and a repeater set to 1, 2. So that's a 1 tick delay, that's 4 ticks or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But basically you have that one set to full delay, that one set to base delay, I guess. And that turns out to work just fine. And it fires on its own. It takes a second to regenerate, and as you can see, it's been firing in the background briefly, and also I'll show you real quick. As you can see, there are 3 block updates. There's one when the ice block forms, there's one when the piston fires, and then there's one when the new source block of water forms. So that lockout is necessary. So this is really cool, and you can also make this with water and lava for a clockless cobblestone generator, which is, I guess, sort of useful, but it overcomplicates the matters just because cobblestone generates pretty consistently. Even if it is a little random, it still happens pretty regularly. But, you know, ice will form at any time. So, possible uses, I don't know. I guess if you wanted to farm ice blocks and you had a silk touch pickaxe, you could pick these up, place them wherever you want. In survival, I guess this would be, this isn't too bad. It's a little bit more expensive, but hell, in survival I've built a cobblestone wall generator, so it's not too bad. It shouldn't be too hard. There's, there's 2 torches and a stone block, so that's 2 redstone, 2 redstone, 2 redstone, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 redstone, plus the lever, which is easy, and then 3 pistons. And then, you know, the blocks can be anything. You don't need any of the glass there. Well, you need some sort of block there so the water doesn't go everywhere, but it doesn't need to be glass. You can just use cobblestone. So that's pretty much it. I guess a cool use of this would be to kind of array these out and then have their streams, have their outputs combined together to create an ice wall, maybe like a instant Superman fortress or something like that coming out of a lake, a frozen lake or something. That would actually be kind of cool. So if you end up using this, by the way, I don't know if there's any north orientation issues with this. There might be. I haven't tested it, mainly because I just finished building this. So if there are any orientation issues, let me know. You might just have to play around with the timing, maybe throw a repeater in there somewhere. Other than that, thanks for watching. And so yeah, if you do build anything with it, I would like credit or post it as a video response or a link or something. Come on, share the love. So that's about it. Have a nice day.